Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Michi Makes Up. Today we're going to take a look at 3 different Sonia G brush sets. We'll talk about them, compare them against each other. So as promised, here is that video. First we have the Fusion set. I'm very excited about these. They just came back in stock today, and at the time of filming, I checked on the website. They're still available. You can get these brushes individually as well. There is a lot of interest and a lot of demand around these brushes, understandably, because they are very, very good. They are excellent at handling creams and liquids. I have been loving these and using them every single day or every time I put on my makeup. The second set is the Lotus set. This set was released in July. It is still available on Beautylish. However, you cannot get these brushes individually. They are sold as a set and meant to be used as a set. This is the Keyaki brush set, which came out in December. It is still available on the website, and these are limited edition brushes, so if they sell out, they will be gone for good as well. And before we talk about more detailed descriptions of these brushes and how I use them, what's my experience with them, let's get some basic information out of the way. All of Sonia G's brushes are made in Kumano, Japan. And Kumano is the city known for their brushes, known for the fude. There are many manufacturers in Kumano, so I guess you could say in Kumano it's most concentrated with OEM, with manufacturers who make brushes. These brushes are made up of either dyed or undyed goat hair, or it's going to be a blend between undyed goat hair and synthetic fibers. I'll talk about those specifics in greater detail whenever we're talking about a specific set. So starting with the Lotus set, these brushes, the handles, they are my favorite, and I think it's understandable why that is. This is from Sonia G's Pro Eye set, and as you can see, while still very beautiful, slick design with the brass handles, and these are brass handles as well, you have the color, the gradient of purple, of white, pink, and then it gets this plum and then a deep purple color. Then you have this purple right here. It's just so eye-catching and so beautiful. What's really neat about this set is you get 6 brushes. In Sonia G's or all of her other face or eye brush sets, there are only 5 at a time. So you actually get 6. It has a mix of 3 face brushes and 3 eyeshadow brushes. Together, this set is supposed to be able to help you complete your look for both face and eyes. So you could say this might be ideal to take with you to travel. You can also interpret that as if you don't have any Sonia G brushes and you're looking to not just dip your toes in, but you're looking to just jump in, get one set that'll let you try different shapes and sizes of her brushes. This is actually the set to do that with. This retails for $215, and on Beautylish, which is the only place, the only retailer that sells Sonia G's brushes, you can also choose, I believe, a monthly payment if you didn't want to pay upfront for the whole set. You can actually divide it into, I think, 4 interest-free payments, something along those lines. And so if you are in you really want to try her brushes, like you want to try a set, you want to jump in, this is what I would recommend. The quality is excellent. I do not find the quality of one set better than another. They excel at what they were designed to do. So let's go through each of the brushes here. This brush here is called the base brush. I almost wanted to say fan base because of the shape. So it is fan shaped, and it is a base brush meant for liquids and creams. I blended in my foundation the right side of my face today with this base brush here because it's been a week or so since I've used it and I wanted to remember what it felt like. It's a very sturdy brush. She had meant for these brushes to be workhorses. They are versatile in that you can use them for different applications, but they'll work hard for you, and they're supposed to be durable if you take care of them correctly. So this is made up of synthetic fibers and undyed goat hair. The reason for this blend is so that, Sonia G finds that this is the optimal when dealing with creams and liquids. I think with synthetic fibers, it makes for picking up product and depositing it on your face easier. It also does not absorb as much product because it's not natural hair. But the natural hair component helps to buff out the product and give you a more even and seamless finish, and I tend to agree. In addition to this set of brushes being workhorses, I actually really enjoy the shapes found in the set. I absolutely love the soft definer. Anytime I need to tight line or do detailed work, whether it's on the lid or under, on the under eyes, I tend to reach for this. The reason being is it's just detailed enough. That point gives you enough control for that level of detail, even tight lining, but it's so soft for what it can accomplish that for both functionality and comfort, I tend to grab for this. I also do not have a brush in my collection that is remotely close to this brush. The other shape I also really like is from the definer. This slant here is excellent. You can use it for contouring in the hollows of the cheek. You can use it for highlight. You can use it for blush. For highlight, if the slant just feels right, you can glide it on like this or even like that. It's totally up to you, but it just feels right to me because I also use this brush for here. If I wanted to apply some bronzer to just give more dimension, just deepen things here to brighten up like the bridge of the nose to make it look straighter and stand out more, I like to go in with this because the angle is it's perfect. I find it similar in shape to the mini cheek and also the aesthetic, how the bristles actually look, the way they're bundled together. The difference is, of course, the dome here, and I do believe this is more densely packed. So there are the two, but I really have been reaching for this a lot. For the two eyeshadow brushes, I've really been enjoying them too, as you can see. I've used them quite a bit. This brush here, which is the worker brush, it's really interesting. It's very versatile, multifunctional. The hairs are long enough and it is dense enough so that you can use it to buff out shadows. But it's also not so densely packed that you can use it to pack on shadow and then blend it just enough so that you're not over blending or you're not being too aggressive. I think of the Jumbo Blender when I see this brush, but they're not the same. I know they both come up to a dome. I think this one here, the Jumbo Blender, has like a slightly flatter surface right at the top of it, but it is very densely packed and it's much more of a paddle shape that has that taper, whereas this is fluffier. So the shape is actually quite different, and I do not use these equally. This is for aggressive buffing and I want to get to things quickly. This is a combination of packing on shadow, buffing, doing somewhat detailed work that I don't have to be too precise about, or I don't have to like think about it too much. I kind of go for this like very well-rounded brush. And then for the builder brush here, I really do like this one as well. Because of the shape and how at the top here, you could really do some detailed work for under the eyes and also above the lash line here. If I wanted to draw some shapes, I could also use this brush, but it's big enough that it saves me some time. I have several brushes here that you could also draw shapes with, but this one I think gives you both precision and area coverage at the same time. So it's not only that the Lotus set is beautiful, and these are high quality, durable workhorses, there's actually something really fantastic with the shapes. And I just love the thoughtfulness behind it, this, well-rounded, again, well-rounded combination of brushes is what sets it apart from any other brush set that Sonia G has. Next is the Keyaki Set. These brushes are so cute. They are miniatures. I'll just compare the handles of a full size versus a mini. This is the same brush. These are both mini bases, same kind of synthetic fiber and natural hair blend. The only difference is the handle. The Keyaki Set is Sonia G's only set so far to have wooden handles. It is made up of Keyaki wood, which is a prized type of wood in Japan, and it is used to build temples and just other sacred places or objects. And I thought it was really cool that she, decided to release something like this. You can see the wood grain, and that's part of the appeal of these brushes. This set is mini because it's meant for traveling. You could take the set of brush to travel with you and be able to use all of these to complete your look. The mini base you can use, or I used it for a long time for under eye concealer. Most recently, I love using it for cream blushes. It's the perfect size. And this brush here, I have been using it very consistently. This is the classic face. This is a new shape. I use it to apply powder right under the eyes. And it just grabs enough product that by the time I, finish sweeping here, I might do 3 of these and open my eyes, I don't have a lot, I'm not seeing a lot of powder that hasn't settled or has been kicked up. So I know this brush deposits powder very efficiently, very well, and there is no excess, and I typically don't need to keep going over it. I don't need to dab and do it another time, because it's just not staying on. I feel like it's just the right amount each time, and it deposits it really well. Because I wear contacts, if there's a lot of kick up, it always gets on my contacts, just how much of that, setting powder gets on. If it's too much, or maybe my eyes are a bit dry that day, it's gonna start collecting on the lens, and it's gonna dry, and then it's gonna be foggy on my lens. Since switching to this, the incident rate of that happening has really gone down, so that is why I use this every time I put on makeup. As for the eyeshadow brushes, we have 3 here. There's the flat definer, which I have already, the jumbo blender, which we looked at when we were looking at the definer brush from the Lotus set. So these are the same. The only difference is the handles, and this is the undyed version of this. Then there's also the mini booster. I also have the mini booster from the Sky Eye set, and I believe the mini booster from the Sky Eye set here, let me take it out. They are the same as well. And this is the undyed version. So I think the question is, do you need the Keyaki set? You do not need the Keyaki set. It is not, a quintessential set. It is a collector's item. It's limited edition, so if it's gone for good. It is also the only set that has wooden handles and of the Keyaki wood variety. I did like that she took a spin on the eyeshadow brushes. These 3 are both made up of undyed goat hair, which means you can use it for liquids and creams. I use it almost exclusively for creams, like Westman Atelier eyeshadows, the iPods, and that's all I use them for. And I like it because I don't want to mix what I use for those shadows into powders and vice versa. So this is perfect for me, actually. I found just the use for them to really enjoy them and get use out of them. And for these 2, these are new shapes. I find them very functional, excellent. If you are looking to dip your toes into Sonia G and you wouldn't like a set because there's a collector in you, I actually do recommend the Keyaki set. I've said it many times on this channel that I recommend it. I find it unbelievable that it's still in stock after so many months. So I think that there is a hesitation from shoppers. They might feel like, well, I don't, I already have the Sky Eye set. I already have all these other shapes. I don't think I need, 3 repeated brushes but in smaller handles. Like, I'm not looking for a travel size, and I totally understand that thinking. So if you want the full size handles, the Lotus Set is what I like, because you get face and eyeshadow brushes. But if you're just looking to dip your toes in, this is pretty representative of Sonia G's quality and what you might get from her. It has 2 face brushes, 3 eyeshadow brushes, which is, I think it's just right. So if you have been mulling over all of these sets, that gets my vote. For dipping your toes in, I think you should try the Keyaki set. And finally, the Fusion set. What can I say about this? I've been using these as soon as they got here. They were washed and dried. I use the mini base, so same thing. Keyaki has the mini base. Oh, that's the other thing too. Because the Keyaki also has a brush meant for liquids and creams, essentially you are trying not only the shapes found in the Sky Eye Set brushes, which are here, you're also getting the undyed hair versions of them. That means you can use it for powders and creams and liquids, whereas these dyed versions are meant for just powdered products. And on top of that, you get this brush. This brush here, I know it's not the same. It gives you a sense of what Sonia G face powder brush can be like. So I have 3 here. These 2 are your all over face powder brushes. I mean, obviously all the shapes are different. This is Face 1. Face 1 is coming back in stock next. I'll post on Instagram and the community tab here once I see the date, but I love Face 1. It is my favorite all over face powder brush. And for a long time though, I did use Sky Face Set's Master Face. It is effective too at applying powders all over the face, but this is where it's at for me right now. So this brush just gives you an idea of the potential in Sonia G's face brushes. That's why I think the Keyaki set is what I call like your toe dipper. If you just want to invest and you just want to dip your toes, like not too much though, I don't want a huge investment. It's your brush that does liquids and creams, a mini base. It gives you an all over face brush and 3 eyeshadow brushes that are versatile for both powder, liquid, and cream products. All right. Let's get back to the Fusion set. So mini base, I use it for exclusively cream blushes. Love it, so easy. And I use the Jumbo Concealer for concealer. I like the motion of patting my concealer as I'm blending out because I want that coverage under the eyes. I have dark circles, I want that coverage. And any blemishes that I apply concealer on, I also just want to pat to blend. This is perfect. Perfect density. It's also a good size because if it's too small, I feel like I'm spending more time than I would like in these areas. But yet the shape of it allows me to get into here as well. It's not so big that I can't effectively get into these crevices, but it's just the right size to help me, make this under eye part quick, faster. And also these areas too, the bigger areas. The soft concealer can essentially do the same thing as the jumbo concealer, and I use this in a few different ways. I've used it to also blend concealer as well, but I enjoy using this as a highlighter, like to blend out liquid highlighter. I think it's perfect. Also, sometimes if some areas, especially this area here, which I talk about a lot, how it's can be challenging, like the area can be a bit dry or have blemishes and it's recovering, and I need something just softer, not as rigid as this. I can go in here and get the job done as well. Sometimes your skin might be dry or it might be sensitive. I think the soft concealer is a good alternative, or it just might be your go-to concealer brush. And if you need something heavier duty for like patting action, you can use the jumbo as well. So these are a great pair. Then we have the classic base. Between the classic base, the jumbo, and the base, the classic is my favorite. I like how it feels on my face. It has that give that makes it feel even softer as I'm working it through, but it is also the right size. It's not too small, and it gives me that in between. It's not quite a heavy coverage, like it doesn't turn my foundation to a heavy coverage foundation, because I have some other brushes that excel at doing that, but it doesn't shear things out. It's kind of right in the middle. So this is probably my dream foundation brush so far. Or I never knew that there were so many options with foundation brushes until I tried the Fusion set and then like some other synthetic brushes recently. But this so far has been my favorite. So I really have been going at that brush and using it. Then there is the jumbo base. The jumbo base it just makes quick work of your foundation, blends, buffs beautifully. I do not see the classic base to be superior to jumbo. It's just down to preference. If you want a more sheer application, and not even like really that sheer, just a little bit more, the jumbo will sheer out things a little bit. It's very dense. While it doesn't have the same kind of give because of the shape compared to the classic, this is still very soft. It just feels really great on the skin. It also is the quickest. To blend foundation, do all that, you can get this done very quickly. Also, it's slightly slanted, and you can still get to these areas effectively. Not too bad. This will be easier to get to these areas, and then this is your best bet. So if I blend in my concealer here, and I go back in with either this brush or this brush to like apply the foundation, it's perfect. It's so seamless. And I feel like today looks pretty good. If I had to pick one brush from the Fusion set, because you can get these individually, I'm gonna go with the classic base. This is my favorite out of the set. If I had to pick a second brush, it would be the mini base. The joys of using the mini base on my cheeks. I love it. And if I had to pick a third, I don't think I can do it. It's a toss-up between these two. They're interchangeable, but they're not the same. They feel different. They do have their strengths that are different from each other. So it'd be really tough. It's almost like if you asked me on Monday, the answer might be different like on Monday than it is on Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. So I think depending on need, I definitely do not hesitate and alternate between these two. You can also use this as highlighter. The effect you get, the finish you get is going to be, it's a more packed on, so it really is blingy. I do have dedicated videos to all three of these sets, which I will give you a link below. And yeah, in conclusion, I do think if you don't have a solid cream liquid set, go for Fusion. Retails for $245. The Lotus set is a good dive in, get your first Sonia G set, get a taste of all of these different shapes, and they're great. And if you're looking to just dip your toes in, there's the Keyaki set, retails for $125, and the Lotus set again retails for $215. That's right. Well, let me know below what you think. I think some of you had told me earlier you were waiting for your Fusion set to arrive. I think they've all arrived. Let me know how you've been enjoying them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love makeup brushes, and I'm so happy I get to share that with you. See you guys very soon. Bye.